everybody. Welcome back to the Men's Couch, a show about men's mental health. I'm Alex.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Micah.
And today we have a guest speaker, Kenny. Say hi, Kenny.
Hi, my name is Kenny. It's good to be on this podcast with y'all.
Heck yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Today is the 6th episode of the Men's Couch. We had a little break after Thanksgiving, but we are back in business. Don't forget to follow our Instagram, Men's Couch. And Micah, take it away.
Oh my gosh, you're just the way you were like looking at me. Kind of
Wait, I'm
like,
sorry.
and just like it's so much energy.
Hello, Micah.
That I don't really have. I don't have all that energy.
I'm looking
that Alex
through your
has,
walls.
but I appreciate your energy.
Okay.
Today we plan on talking about happiness. What makes us happy? And we're not trying to say like today, but what makes us happy? Frick.
No, you're fine.
We're doing that, and it's basically our personal philosophies on happiness. It can be our personal philosophies, but I'm just gonna like. Are we happy today? Like, are we feeling happy today?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay.
For the most part, yes, but I did wish I got more stuff done today. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
I've been happy all week because I'm doing the stage crew and helping out with the musical.
Musical. If you're in the RMU area, go check out Elf. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty happy. I think it goes. I think happiness goes. It's like for me, it's like a fluctuation. Sometimes I can like. There's like moments of happiness, but I want to have like a inner contentment with myself. And for me, when I talk about happiness, I think about like just inner your sense of self. You're like content with yourself. Like you're happy with yourself, and maybe maybe everything isn't like perfect in your life, but there's a level of contentment that you feel that you're happy. So looks like Daniel's really happy today.
Yeah, sometimes I get in like a giggly mood for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah. You keep giving me that look, and it's like.
if people's laughs are contagious, then I tend to laugh.
All right.
Are you happy? You said you're happy.
Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm always happy.
Okay. I think for me, I'm not like always happy, but I do have like I feel like I'm getting better with having a secure sense of contentment in my life. It hasn't always been that way, but I think I'm getting better at that. So I don't want to start off with my personal philosophy of happiness, but I kind of want to. I guess we'll just go around the room. Like, what does everyone think about happiness? Like, how do you achieve happiness? Do you think money buys happiness? Like, what?
That is a good question.
That's a great question.
That is a good question, yeah.
When it comes to money, that entirely depends. Well, I wouldn't. That's tough because I mean it does depend, I guess, on the person, where they are in life, and how they overall are. I mean, of course, like Christmas, which is coming up in like a month.
Christmas
Gifts.
is gonna leave me broke.
Oh yeah, I gotta do freaking like gift shopping for friends. You people are expensive, but anyway, yeah, it's.
For him to
Of
spend
course,
max on
like-
my credit card.
Oh yeah. But like overall gifts are like, expensive, can be expensive, but also can bring joy to people. However, even then, like the most rich people in the world can still be sad. Stuff like that. But what do you guys think?
So, basically, yeah, tied to what you said, money is something that can buy you something that can make you happy, something that can make you feel joy. Honestly, you want to hug that person after you get this something that they bought you something for. So yeah, money it can buy you things that make you happy, but can it actually give you real happiness is the question.
That's true. Yeah.
I always feel like happiness to me, it's like if someone brings in joy into your life, or if someone does something to like make you happy, or if it's something like you really like. Say for example, like you get money or you like get a new house. That can be an example of happiness because it's what you really enjoy or what you want to achieve in life.
That's true.
See, this is where I kind of not agree fully. I think money. I think money can give you temporary happiness.
That's true. Like a drug.
It can.
Sort of.
Mhm.
Like it can get
One
you
point
like
right there.
the gift or the car or whatever, but like eventually, I think, and this is my perspective. Eventually, you're gonna start. You're gonna get used to that car, or you're gonna get used to the house or whatever. And I just think, if you want like more of not just a temporary happiness, but a more like me, I long for a more fulfilled sense of contentment where you're just fulfilled in life doing what you want to do. And I'm going to get to that in a second, like doing stuff that you want to do. But I think just having a how to have like a long-term sense of like contentment is basically I'm trying not to say like I'm trying not to say like it is so hard. I
I know.
feel like I don't
Yeah.
know how to talk, but
Right.
I think, and this is we talked about this yesterday. We talked about how what like just more we long for more long-term contentment and fulfillment, and I think to get that it's just we talked about having like a sense of giving something to someone. You have that sense of I've impacted this person's life. I've like contributed something to society. For me, that like brings happiness. That brings like, and I said, what else did I say? I said knowing yourself, knowing who you
Yes.
are, and staying true to yourself. And I'm gonna say this, like my great grandmother, she passed away last year, um, and she's always just like this always stuck with me is to like to be happy is to like stay true to yourself, and that has always just stuck with me. To like, I think that's where we're not happy. I think that's where we're not, and those are the places that we're not happy. But
Going with what you said, Micah, I mean, money can bring you temporary happiness, but if you like spend your money like really quickly, then that happiness goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like an up and down emotion or whatever.
and you always need the next high.
I'm trying not to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
like what you said.
Yeah.
I just said it again.
Yeah. For
Like?
context, we've been trying to say like less, and
Yeah.
it's right
Like,
now.
we've
It's
been-
going
I
all
think
right.
we're kind of failing
like
here.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to say like I'm trying to like not say like.
Do you think we should just give up? Do you think we should just give up?
Well, we can say the word like, but like we should try to.
Not, like,
Dang
Not
it.
say it
every
too
other
much. We should try to not say it too
Yes.
much. is what we're
every
trying to
other
say.
word.
Yeah. Well, anyway, happiness.
Try your best.
Yes. Like happiness and drugs. Like that's like I didn't want to compare the two, because happiness is technically a drug, because it's a brain chemical. What?
I don't know why I start laughing.
I think it's
Go-
just a
go
little
ahead,
fascinating.
continue.
But,
Your
Um,
laugh is so contagious, Micah.
But it's a drug. Like you get happy for a good while, like for a period of time, and then eventually like dives off because it's a chemical. But it's also like gifts. That's right, drugs are gifts, ladies and gentlemen. or gifts or drugs, because they both give you that same happiness, which is the drug.
So you feel that sense of elation or
Yes.
whatever, or that happiness moment, and then when it wears off, you want more of it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
right? You
like
want
something like
more
that.
of it.
I mean,
I want more
then again,
of it. I want more.
I'm not entirely
happiness.
sure where I was going with that, but
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just we talked about this yesterday too, that there's an expectation of happiness, that we have an expectation of happiness, that we should always be happy. And I think we need to, for me, I'm trying to like be like for me, because I don't want like I don't want like I want people to have like their opinions on the podcast or perspectives.
Yeah.
But I think we need to free ourselves from the expectation to always be happy. And I mean, it's a good thing to want to be like happy, but I think we need to like allow ourselves to feel like, a wide range of things. Like,
yeah.
like yesterday, I mean, not yesterday, like the last podcast, we talked about anger and like, how do you deal with anger? But I think to actually be more content with it, with your life, I think you need to allow other aspects of your emotional self in your life, like whether it be sad or whatever it is. I don't want to go inside out. Inside
I was thinking Inside Out this entire time. I'm gonna be honest, but
Honestly, yeah. When you said anger, I instantly thought of Inside Out.
Yeah, but I think we can do that, but and like our topic of how we went about happiness yesterday is happiness is like lies within you. I have like the quote up. I have a little sheet up here, but I can pass around. You want to like take a
Sure.
look at it, but
Yes.
it's basically is like happiness is like within you, and I think I agree with that. Like I think I definitely agree that happiness lies within you, and we're trying to seek it like externally. We're always trying to go. We think happiness is out there, somewhere out there, but I think long-lasting happiness is within you. What do you? I want to like know everyone else's perspective.
So speaking of Inside Out, like literally the definition of Inside Out is emotions.
Yeah.
the more you know. So what do you guys think? I'm just trying to think of something to say, but
Okay.
what do you guys think?
Honestly, what I think is, yeah, basically to what Mike and Alex said. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit back here, but like with money, happiness, yeah. I mean, money can buy you things that that can make you happy. Sorry about that, but I mean, it's not the only thing that can make you happy. A lot of other things can make you happy, like being with friends, like going to the beach, watching a movie that you find funny. A lot of things can really excite that dopamine brain up. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like happiness to me, adding on to that, if you want to buy something that makes you happy, like say a car or anything that can excite you, or a house or some fortune or a dream vacation you always want to visit, that can give you like euphoric highs.
Did you get a spark?
Yeah, but it's a good thing. Certainly, 'cause of course, everyone wants to be happy. And it's a good thing to be happy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's healthy, definitely. Just overall, like happiness is a overall good. I don't know.
Happiness is something that happiness
know.
is something that everybody needs.
It's the key
Yeah,
to mental health.
Key to mental health.
Something that can like encourage you to like push on.
Yeah.
Okay. I was so unhappy for the longest time. I was unhappy with myself, and I think I was happy with where I was at within myself, like in my life. Um, Mostly in high school, I was unhappy because I just I wasn't content within myself. I didn't know how to be content with myself because I always thought everyone else had like a better life, or just I would always like compare myself. So I think going through that time, like I learned how people like why people are like not happy. I think it's well one of the reasons, but I think it's like an internal conflict with them and just the outside world, because they think that everyone else has a better life, and they do like a size up, like
Mm-hmm.
they're other people, they do like a comparison thing. And I think going through that, and also I didn't accept myself as like I didn't accept just who I was, like my personality, because I realized that I'm like different than like most guys. I'm not like, oh, I said like
You're
I,
fine.
I'm not
He said the L word.
I'm not the
This is like the
I
50th
wasn't
time you
like
used the word like.
I wasn't the jock in high school, so I was so like I was so I was so I wouldn't say upset, but I was just not content with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know how to be content with myself for a while. So I think happiness is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
The the well, I keep using happiness and contentment interchangeably, but I think contentment, finding lasting contentment, is part of it. Is like accepting yourself and learning to live, be aligned with your values, is what makes people happy. Like like getting in line with your values and like what you value. Because I think at that time I didn't know how to live by my values. I had values, but I didn't know how to like live live by my values. It was that time in my life. Oh my gosh, I I wasn't not happy with myself, and I just I think when you're not happy with yourself, you try to make people like you. Sort of like I don't know if I can say people pleasing, but try to make people like you when you're not happy with yourself. You look like you want to say something.
I kind of do.
Man, his face is just getting in your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's technically, yeah, like people pleasing, because especially when it comes to me, like middle school was definitely like the awkward phase. I feel like that is for most people. I mean, I can't say for most people, but for me it was. And it's that phase you're trying to like see who you are, I guess, and like trying to fit in. I was definitely not one of those people. Um, I mean, even to this day, I'm still kind of the weird kid. Um, Overall, we all are. But yeah. But like, it's all about later in life. I feel like you accept yourself more and more, which I've like, at least for me. And the more you accept yourself, definitely the more I feel like happier you are, and trying not to compare yourself to others. Um, like, what do you guys think?
Quick question for you, Alex.
What's up?
So, were you always like called out in middle and high school for being weird? Just a curious question.
Har har har.
Har har har. Not really. Not really called out.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Like, not like a movie where like someone's like, what's the word? Monologuing? Not monologuing.
Monologuing.
Just like screaming at them. Like, not really like that. it was more like a mental, non-verbal thing. I think we all been
Like
through
the side
something.
eye?
I don't know. Like everyone's been through something where they're like, you're thinking of what someone else is doing
Oh.
that negatively could affect you.
Like
need
people were
some
talking
sleep.
behind your back.
Like, yeah, like for example, like if you walk into a room, the whole room goes quiet, you're like, oh, well, crap.
Yeah.
You need some sleep.
Mhm.
But anyway, I just think just for a while I was not happy with myself because I was trying to live something that I wasn't, so that the people around me can like say, "Oh, Micah, you're so good," but like internally, I'm just like, this isn't me. I'm just living what someone else wants me to live, and I think that's how we when we disconnect from ourselves, that's how we're not happy because this
We're kind of
we're,
living a lie.
like in a way, like we don't intentionally do it, but we think that's what gets us happy. So I think we we are trying to make ourselves happy, but when trying to make ourselves happy, we're not actually getting happy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like when we say like money buys happiness, like our goal with money, I guess, is to find happiness, but that doesn't actually bring. It doesn't. I guess more money doesn't actually bring us happiness, and I don't want to have a black and white view about that. I'm not gonna go into the argument, but my thing is, I think we need to sit down and really understand what we've been taught about what it means to be happy, like how we think we should be happy. Like you got to go to 4-year college, you got to do this stuff, you got to get this house, you got to do all this stuff, and then you'll be happy. I think we have to go through that and like see what we've been taught that makes us happy. Like you got to be like you got to get all A's or whatever it is, whatever it is. I think we need to maybe review that. And happiness is different for everyone. Like something that's gonna make Daniel happy isn't gonna make me isn't what makes me happy. I'm not.
Right, because sometimes like it doesn't make the other person happy.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Ken? You're
All
just
right.
Ken.
How many times have I told you this? All right, so yeah, honestly, yeah, what you just said, I agree with that. That there can be times when and you feel like you're so upset that you just really can't live with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk into a room and see everybody staring at you, you're obviously gonna feel insecure. Like you're gonna start thinking, what's wrong with me? Why do they look at me like that?
Yeah.
So eventually, you're gonna want to start doing something to like change their perspective.
Oh my gosh,
Like-
that is
Mm-hmm.
that is
Like when you walk in the room,
preach.
they're all gonna like smile or like just say hi to you, But yeah, you're doing something that makes them happy. And honestly, I mean, the first few times you're gonna feel like, oh, yeah, they're paying attention to me now. How they're accepting me. But eventually, over time, is that really gonna make you feel happy? Like you're doing something that brings joy to someone else, but is it really bringing joy to you? Yeah. So, can anybody give an example of that?
That is perfect.
We have a philosopher in the house.
No,
That is
that was
a great
Philosopher
one.
in the house.
that is definitely something I was meaning to go into, but Kenny, you nailed that perfectly,
Yeah.
because there are definitely a bunch of examples for that. Like,
Like changing your
About to
hair.
choke me?
Changing
no,
your
I
face.
said like again, but
Oh.
the whole, parents trying to make their kid do something that they don't want to do,
Yeah.
or
I just want you to be happy.
that's all.
I'm looking
Yes.
out for you.
Or,
You're my angel.
Like my one friend, his parents had him do trombone, and he only plays trombone just to make his parents happy. That doesn't really make him happy.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I
yeah,
would be so miserable.
I know.
Or say like you want to go to school to make your parents happy.
But
That's how you do it.
yeah, but a good way I think personally is to make yourself happy is to balance out what you have to do and what you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I always hear
Or
like
you're-
a lot of people like say they're not happy with their job,
Mm,
and I'm afraid of getting there. But
same,
I'm
honestly.
afraid of like not being like I don't know. But anyway, I'm not. You can continue your thoughts.
A good example of this, I had it. Oh, so what I usually do, I'm a filmmaker. I think I've said this several
Really?
times in the podcast. What?
I've seen your videos.
And
Yeah.
I feel like you're in movie club. Didn't you
Yes,
say
I
that
am.
before? Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
a good and I try to balance out my film, my passion, and of course everything else. So, like sometimes I not be able to do that, but if you can find time to do stuff that you love while still getting things done that you need to do, I feel like
You'll be happy.
that's a good. I mean, that's what I think. Just it works for me.
So good
But that's how
work-life
I
balance.
do it. Yeah, a good work-life balance, like where you can balance your passions and the stuff that makes you happy and wants to do for fun, or makes you want to do something to reach you to the thing that you want to do, and then you still have time to get the stuff you actually need to get done, like have a job to pay the bills, hang out with well, not hang out with friends because that's part of the passion thing, but you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, okay. So Kenny mentioned like friends, and so we can do because you have a. I don't know if you want. Do you want me to say you have a girl?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a girlfriend, and
I do. I'm kidding.
So just
They're probably not gonna hear it.
anyway.
What?
So, yeah. So and I'm gonna like sort of put it in like the category of like social connections and friends. I think what you said earlier about like having friends and just having that be your priority. I think I keep saying I think, but over the years, it's taken me time to understand the importance of friends because I wasn't the most social person, um, all the time. It's taken some time to really see that, oh, friends actually do make me happy and appreciating that.
I had the same thing.
Oh, okay. I guess we all had the same thing. Okay.
Like I had the same kind of problem.
Yeah.
I was social, but at the same time I wasn't. I don't know how to explain it. It was more of like when people were hanging out in my neighborhood, I was like, I don't want to go out.
Oh.
But
All right.
it was something like that. I don't know. That just reminded me of some early years, like elementary school and stuff like that.
Oh, I sparked some nostalgia or sparked some.
We're
I don't
going
know,
way
that's
back
nostalgia.
now.
That wasn't nostalgia, but we're in a goofy mood today. We're
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, not gonna lie.
We're all in a happy mood.
We're all living in heaven right now.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
I think
You know, if Pharrell Williams was in
cause-
here right now, I'm sure he would feel just as happy as we are.
Exactly.
So when Mikey Yates,
huh?
that was the kid who just walked by.
Shout out to him.
I think
So
I think if we prioritize the wrong things, and if we're just all about maybe if we're all about money or something, I think I don't understand. We're just not gonna be as happy as we want to be, and when we like factor in social connections and all that stuff, I totally agree that definitely is like contributor to happiness, and I think we can sort of downgrade that, or like we can sort of like forget about that. But I think it's something to definitely that's definitely important. Um, but also doing something that you like doing, and finding that space for that as well. Um, Also, I don't know why I keep saying also. Another thing that's helped me to be happy is realize that I have enough in my life. Is to be content, learning to be content with stuff that you have in your life, and not like not say just declaring that the things in your life are good enough, and not saying, because I feel like a lot of us have like a sense of lack, like we feel like we lack something, whatever it is. And over the years, I just went, okay, I have enough in my life. I like, this is enough, this is good enough, the things in my life are good enough. I don't need to keep seeking something that's like out there, because that, like in one of the quotes that you probably read, was try to seek something that's like out there, instead of just like seeking within and saying that my life was enough. And I struggle with that, like for a while. I struggled um, believing that I am enough and that my life is enough, because I compared my life for a while.
Yeah, so I agree with that too. Basically, happiness can sometimes be tied to contentment. Like,
Yeah.
knowing that what you have is enough can make you happy.
Yes.
So, well, as I go along in life, sometimes, well, I don't think I'm doing that now. I don't think I'm doing that now. But I did do this a lot in the past. Like, I wanted something that someone else had. I asked my mom, "Oh, mom, can I get this?" But I mean, she was like, that I should be content with what I have. She always reminded me that I have something, and she compared me to like somebody else that probably didn't have what I had. So knowing what you have, and I don't want to go down the wrong road with this, but you see something in your hand, like say you have a book. You can obviously imagine that someone else probably won't have the book you read. You see your favorite shirt. Somebody probably won't have that shirt. You see the food on the table. Some people out there are like praying for a meal. You are always gonna have something that someone else wants or needs, and someone else is gonna have something that you want or need. But knowing that you have that something is enough. Knowing that you have, knowing that you have, knowing that you have that something special, even though it doesn't look like much, it can still be enough.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's so nice. That's so beautiful.
Can you please be on this show more often? That was awesome.
You should.
I know we passed Thanksgiving, but like like that's a great. That was all great. Like
Oh my
being
gosh.
thankful for what you have.
Can I just say something real quick? I used to hate the word gratitude. People use it so
Okay.
much. I used to hate the word gratitude. I don't know. I just did not like the word gratitude. It's like,
You know, in SpongeBob, they actually have a song about that. So
Coincidence, I think.
because he would just say, "Oh, just be grateful for what you have," or just to have some gratitude, and it was just kind of just, to me, it just didn't really stick. It was just always just like, "Oh, just be grateful you already have," but it wasn't until I changed my mind about how I went about gratitude. It wasn't just writing a list of all the things you have. It's actually just like actually noticing the things you have,
Mhm.
because we actually don't notice what we have. I feel like we're sort of, we have the things, but we don't notice we have the things. Like we have a good friend group or good family, but we don't notice it because we're so stuck in what we don't have that we
Yes.
can't. Like we have to have like I think it's about focus. I think happiness is about focus, and gratitude is about focus. Like, where are you focusing? Are you focusing on that person? Or are you focusing on what's in my life that I have? If that makes sense.
I think it's said best from the 80s rock band Cinderella. You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yes.
Yep.
That saying just
You
went in my
love
head as he was
80s
talking.
Yep.
That's
That's a
saying can,
real
like,
that's a real band, by the way. It's called Cinderella, not the
Yeah.
princess.
honestly, that saying can
Seriously, that's a band.
bring you
It's a-
inspiration to other people.
It's
Yeah.
a hair metal band.
Which I'm making a podcast of that soon, by the way, so stay tuned for that. But
Oh.
that's not the point. Yeah, you don't know really what you got until it's gone. So it's really important to appreciate the things you have.
I don't think we know how to. I don't think I don't. I keep speaking for everyone. I don't think I know. I didn't know how to do that for a while. I didn't know how to, like, be grateful. People said, "Oh, just be grateful," but I didn't know how to do that.
That's true.
Yes.
Isn't it kind of weird how we kind of stepped from happiness to
I was
gratefulness?
kind of thinking that the same. Yeah,
I think it's a part of
but it's still like
Yes.
It's kind of for
thankful, happiness.
gratitude's a part of happiness for me, and just being grateful for who you are. So, I think we had a good podcast today.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah, we did.
a good
Yeah, this one was
podcast.
pretty good.
Especially Kenny, like, explaining everything so well.
He's a
Yeah, Kenny.
philosopher.
Dang, dropping the
philosopher
deep
of
quotes.
the
Damn.
group.
So yeah. All right.
All right. We had a good podcast. We'll see you all later.
All right. Again, Kenny, thank you so much for being on here today.
Thank you all for inviting me.
We're all happy that you came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all grateful. Well, yeah, and thankful.
And stay tuned for more episodes coming up next week.
Heck
Every
yeah.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday,
At 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Well, that's when we record. But
Oh yeah.
also, yep, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
All right.
Adios.
Sayonara.